Once upon a time, there were two brothers who had nothing better to do than to read stories on the internet, and thus the adventure duo was born. Let's see what adventures our heroes get into today.
Hey man, what are we doing tonight?
It's a new year, so I figured we'll play God.
Huh?
We are reading Overthrown, The Making of a God. Live as Gaius.
Wait, whoa.
I think that's how you spell it. Gaius. A demigod.
Say it again?
Gaius?
Okay.
Gaius. A demigod sired by none other than the Lord of the Gods himself,
Zeus.
In an attempt to right some wrongs, you live in ancient Greece, where monsters, gods, and other unworldly beings walk the earth alongside mortals. A group of refugees are escaping from their hometown of Sion. They told of a giant so terrifying that even gods fear it. As a hero who aims to make a name for himself, what will you do? Discover and live a story unlike any other you've witnessed before. As this is this is very first game. Yeah, so we're just rating it. It's by somebody named Ramerman. I don't know which one, but we're Gaius, and it's written by Ramerman.
Riverman. Oh, yes.
Ramerman. Say called Ramrock.
I think it's like a Baba Booey situation. Baba Booey.
So it is 5.22 out of 8, story difficult 1, thank God, and the play length is 3 out of 8, and maturity level is 7 out of 8. All right.
We are lying down in the grass. I live in a huge world. Why do I exist in this world? Is there a greater reason that I exist than just having to exist? Considering all the beings in this world, gods, titans, monsters, chaos, it's hard not to feel like a lowly ant living amongst giants. How can I make sure my existence here is not wasted? Many have tried, many have failed, but many have also succeeded. Hercules, Perseus, Theseus, these are just names of some who have challenged and were rewarded with the gift of immortality. Their names would be remembered forever. How did they do it? How can I be like them?
You need a purpose,
A voice in my head said. I suppose that you're right. A fulfilled purpose is enough to suffice a confused heart, giving it the feeling like it fulfilled the reason for its existence, too. But what shall be my purpose?
Serve me.
The voice answered.
You must serve me, my son.
Whoa. Of course, I knew that this voice belonged to my father. I would hope so. Yeah, I would hope so.
Where'd your pants go?
You're like, okay, that's definitely my dad, hopefully. Of course, I knew that this voice belonged to my father, even before he revealed it so. The natural superiority and the hardness in his voice proved that. But is that really just what I'm good for? Just an unworthy servant? I banished the thought. Father, I only exist to serve you, I answered the voice. Though my world is unfortunately huge, so is the length of my mortal life. Who knows what feats I will be able to accomplish by the end of it. After all, it doesn't hurt that my father, the one who answers my prayers every now and then, is Zeus, the Lord of all gods and the ruler of the sky.
That's lightning.
Very nice. My limit goes beyond the sky. We shall continue.
It took me a moment to realize that I had fallen asleep. Ever so slightly, I let some light pass my guarded eyes and look at my surroundings. I've been lying down in a field of grass, and it's morning. Apollo has only begun his day-long trek in his golden, shining chariot from east to west. The sunlight is what interrupted my peaceful slumber. Curse it! Suddenly, with my trained senses, I heard grass being stepped on. In that moment, all my battle senses that I gained from training were turned on. The steps are scattered, possibly caused by multiple creatures or a singular animosity with multiple legs. Ooh. I froze, my body thinking maybe the monster would lower its guard when it thinks I'm still unaware of its presence. The smell of sweat and blood filled the air. Clearly, the creature just had its meal. Using expert caution, I unsheathed my sword very quietly while still on the floor. The blade emits a faint glow, the power of the sky. Being in the blade made its presence known. I felt nervous, my heart pounding and my blood rushing, but never afraid. My mind was calculating everything in sight, but I still don't know what creature I'm dealing with. Could be an army of wolves, or a giant arachne. Who knows? The steps grow closer. Then stopped.
Then just stopped.
I felt their eyes staring at my body. What should I do? I'm the son of Zeus. They shall face my wrath. Or Wait a little longer.
Well, I mean, we got a upstage Thor, right? So I guess I'm gonna go, I'm the son of Zeus. They shall face my wrath. Alright, Gaius, the hero. With one quick movement, I was on my feet facing the creatures. My sword felt perfectly balanced in my well-rested arms. Alright. My brain draws out about 20 different tactics on how I can maneuver in case the creatures used any tricks. All these happened in a matter of seconds. But what stood before me didn't look like they wanted to fight. A large group of men, women, and children stood in the grassy plains. They looked dirty and tired, like they had came here from a faraway place. They also looked sad. Most of the women seemed afraid of me. This made me put away my sword. A bearded man, who seemed to be their leader, intones,
"We came all the way from our village of Sion, which lies by the great mountain of Etna.
"What are you doing here?" I asked. "What do you want?"
We're here seeking refuge.
The bearded man answered.
A horrible monster terrorized our village and destroyed our homes."
An idea sprung from the top of my head. "I live in a village named Mean. It's not very far from where we stand, and I can escort you there," I said. "It should suffice as a temporary home for you for now." I beckoned them to follow, and they did. I'm going total, like, Disney character with that voice.
I just feel like this is like some bum in New York that's like sleeping, that's like all this is taking place in his mind, and there's like people walking by him, and he just hops up ready to battle, and he was like, "Ha! Who wants some of Debo?" And you're like, Jesus Christ. But it's all just like Greek mythology in his head due to mental illness.
And then he hits the pipe again.
To my village. My village, Mean, stands to the south. The refugees and I will have to pass through a light forest to get there. I feel the cool, light morning breeze and sighed a contented sigh. Life always feels good when you're on your way back home.
It seems like you and your people had a lot of trouble while heading here.
I asked the bearded man who seemed to be their leader.
"My name is Persix,"
He said.
"I used to be the king of Sion until that horrible giant destroyed it."
No!
He sighed as if remembering the struggle that they went through.
"I thought I was a good king. Now look at my people. Just terrible people.
Just the worst.
Just awful assholes."
He said, beckoning to the group who now trails behind us.
"We were hounded by bandits and the monsters the whole way, and I couldn't do anything about it. And those fucking giant preacher men at the big churches kept asking for money, and I was like, go on and get and leave me alone."
Then they asked about Tree Fitty.
And they asked about Tree Fitty, and I said, "Get out of here, Loch Ness Monster."
Without meaning to, my battle experience kicked in. Jesus, and I studied the old king. Oh, I thought you were just like, that's a terrible story. Strike. I studied the old king. He's frail and old. There was no way he could defend all his people from anything stronger than a pack of wolves. With the clothing he wore, you would never think he was royalty. You dirty fucking homeless man.
But whoa, that old man can defend from a pack of wolves? That's pretty gangster. Like,
I mean, I guess.
give him credit.
I mean, we're also the son of God. I mean, that's nothing to us. A dirty toga with scattered rips slung loosely across his body. He had grayish hair and beard, and his eyes resonated nothing but sadness.
"Worry not. You're in safe hands now,"
I assured King Persix.
"But would you describe this giant for me? I have fought a lot of them before, and I might be able to help."
Oh, good. We're humble bragging. Good for us.
Yeah.
Learn about the giant. I mean, I've taken a couple giants. Is this a big one?
Yeah, I mean, it's only a couple.
No big whoop.
How big's this one? I've seen bigger.
You should check out my Yelp. Give me 5 stars if I take out this giant.
A giant problem. King Persic's face turned dark and grim. The forest air seemed to thicken, turning into a light blanket of fog.
"You've never faced anything like this giant before. I know I don't know you, but I'm just assuming this giant's bigger than you faced."
He went straight oy vey. I get it. He said with a sinister smile on his face.
"This giant that I'm talking about has wings the size of warships.
He intones.
His body reaches the skies, hey, and his head can touch the stars. His hands are as big as the moon."
He continues.
"And his eyes,
Oy
oy
vey,
eyes.
Don't even get me started on the eyes.
He had the eye of the Jew.
Alrighty. Suddenly he stopped. I scolded myself quietly, unlike him, wondering why I hadn't heard the sound earlier. Maybe it was because I was so drawn to the king's description of the monster. Rustling sounds are coming from the trees, which surrounded our weary group of refugees.
Oh, shit.
Dun dun dun. Moments passed, and the sounds evolved into movements in the plant life. There is something out there. I drew my sword. Its warm glow seemed to thin the now heavy fog of the forest.
That's a pretty dope sword. Have you seen that Lord of the Rings meme where he's like, oh, my sword is glowing blue. That means there are orcs nearby. And they said, what about your other sword? It's glowing green. And he goes, oh no. And someone stands behind him and he's got a shirt on that says, Hobbit fucker.
Like, uh-oh. Yeah, for sure. I held my breath, waiting for something to happen. At the sight of my sword, some of the children whimpered and ran to their mothers. Okay. I couldn't blame them, except for that noise they just made.
Don't do that again.
From the sounds, it's clear that there are a lot of creatures out there, and they ain't human. You see that little southern twang I add to it?
Yeah.
I turned to the king. He was looking at the trees and says,
Oi, not again.
An explosion from the trees interrupted him again. I was somewhat wrong. The creatures are somewhat humanoid in a sense. They were huge, the smallest probably standing at 7 feet high. All they had on were pieces of cloth strapped to their waist. Ooh la la. There were 3 of them with
Big
greenish
dick
skin.
swinging.
Big dick swinging. There were 3 of them with greenish skin and muscled bodies. Oh, let me get into detail about their abs. Their eyes looked at everyone at first, then at me.
I hope you got a lot of chutzpah.
Then, after seeing my drawn sword, they focused on me.
Oh, God.
Without question, what kind of story are we getting into here?
Why are all our stories like this?
Without question, I know that we've been ambushed by a pack of giants.
Oh, God, you gotta be a Meshuggah to fight all these giants.
Tell them, either, you ugly beasts, come and get me.
Suck my dick!
Persix, get everyone behind me.
Oh, you gotta move it along.
This sounds like a fantasy. The other option, this fight will be between you and me. No one else has to get hurt. So, you want to train? You want to go at it by yourself? Or do you just want to be a coward?
Well, you know me, I'm autistic, so the only kind of porn scenes I like are trains, baby. You ugly beast, come and get me. Send it. Oh, no.
You dumb brutes! If you know what's good for you, you would stop where you are!
I yelled. The giants laughed.
Jabba whoop nicky picky.
A stupid man's laugh. Persix looked at me
Hey,
like I was crazy. But I kept my eyes on the giant bandits, my sword starting to feel heavier.
Oh. Foolish human!
The biggest of the bandits yelled back.
Who do you think you are?
I summoned all the authority in my voice and yelled back as loudly as I could.
I am Gaius, the hero of Mean and the son of my father Zeus.
Thunder rumbled in the skies and the clouds turned gray in a matter of seconds. The wind started to pick up, and it looked like a hurricane is starting to form right where we stand.
Oh shit.
The fight!
Let's go.
Take it, dicks!
The other 2 giants started noticing the change in the environment. They lost their dumb grins, and I sensed a little fear in their eyes. The bigger giant, clearly the strongest in the group, kept his grin and his eyes on me. I tried my best not to show my fear, but I did it by returning the gaze straight at him. Then...
Yeah, you can't overcome my gaze. I'll beat the shit out of you.
I'll outgaze you all day, buddy. Then he broke his statue form and turned to his friends. He growled 2 words to them. Get him! I was prepared for the attack. The 2 stupid giants obeyed their leader's command and charged at me at the same time. I waited for the right moment and jumped 10 feet in the air.
Ah,
The Giants realized their mistake because I'm LeBron James.
I was about to say, yeah.
The Giants realized their mistake a little late. They hit each other head on with a full force enough to cause an earthquake. Meanwhile, I used my power over the winds and hurled myself downward towards the now unconscious bodies of the two giants, with my sword pointing at them. My sword's pointing at all times.
Along with my gaze.
Along with all the gays.
I am gaius.
The impact was so severe that it sent out a shockwave that was probably felt by everyone within a 50-yard radius. Blood and giant entrails scattered across the forest floor.
Oh, God, it knocked me on my tuchus.
Calm down, Mel Brooks. The impact caused a fog of dust that hid myself from the others.
You got a little schmutz on you.
When the fog clears, I saw myself towering over the two corpses. My sword is stuck inside what seems to be the head, of course, of one of the giants.
It was already knocked out and you fucking stabbed it.
Skull fucked it.
You're like, well, that sword's fucked. Shitty.
Into the head of one of the giants, but it was so decimated that I couldn't be sure. I pulled my sword out and saw for the first time the reaction of the last giant. His smile left his face altogether.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
The uh-oh face, and was replaced by a surprised open mouth that I took advantage of with my sword. No jokes.
Whoa.
I jumped off the tower I just created and locked my gaze at him again.
You got enough of my gaze, boy?
Let's get this over with, I said, pretending like the stunt didn't cost me as much energy as it did.
Final round. The giant roared so loud it shook the trees. He hefted a huge club, the size of the thickest tree in the forest. Yeah, you like that thick tree, girl? And charged straight at me. And my gaze. I guessed wrong and thought
over and gazed.
I guessed wrong and thought that he was going to do the same attack that his friends did, but he didn't. Yeah, the attack they did was run into each other. Clearly, he's not as dim-witted as his friends. The moment I tried to sidestep his charge, he stopped mid-stride and stepped toward the direction that I went. Aw, shit! Even with the speed that I had, I couldn't entirely dodge his strike, and he hit me in the back. Oh, the back shots! I heard bones crackling as his attack glanced me. I tried to stand up, but the pain prevented me. I was only able to crouch. Now, realizing that he probably won, the giant towered above me. He raised his club as if to end the battle, but I had other plans. Tee-hee. The seconds seemed like minutes, and I concentrated as hard as I could before the giant could make his final move. Then, there was an aura of calmness that enveloped the forest.
Wow, 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 wow.
The giant hesitated just a little bit, and that was enough. Time that I needed to finish him off. I raised
just in time.
How about thee with my gaze? I raised my sword and it glowed ever so brightly toward the sky. The storm clouds gave birth to a thunderbolt that hit my sword, killing everyone and everything within 5 feet of me. Oh shit. Hope the old Jewish dude's not near me. The force disintegrated the last giant, and I stood perfectly straight, not gay at all. But my body healed after the thunderstruck hit, a blessing that the Sons of Zeus often have. Oh, okay. That's pretty dope. We can heal from lightning. A sigh of relief escaped my mouth, and I looked back. To my surprise, the group looked even more scared than before. I couldn't blame them. Even other demigods were amazed at the power that my father granted me because he rarely gave out so much, but I'm kind of his favorite, so it's a thing. It's a thing.
It came out of my mouth, you saw it.
Who lightning? Persix broke the awkward silence. Praise Gaius. The son of Zeus. Oh, a savior, but not like Jesus savior, because, he's a good guy. He was a good guy. I don't know why that turned into Donald Trump for a second.
The best.
He's the best. It's China.
He shouted towards his people. Scattered cheers from the men rang through the forest.
Hey, that's pretty good. Hey, I liked him. He's all right. I didn't doubt him for a second. I don't know. He could have done better.
Most of the women still looked at me like I was worse than the giants. All right, fucking judging me, Judgerson.
We should continue towards Mean.
I said when the crowd quieted down.
I'm not sure I could fight more of these things if we get attacked again.
And with that, our journey continued. To my home. Boop.
To my home. We're just going home now. Alright, we are at the village of Mean. I breathed in the smell of fresh air. Finally, I'm home. I just hope that the group of people that followed me, when I counted there was 20 of them, could feel the same way right now.
Did we lose some?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. What the fuck? He's like, yeah, we lost a lot, but it's all good. Everything is where it was since I left 6 years ago. The farms, the houses, and the people, though the people looked a little different.
That's not good. Your village should kind of prosper. If it's still the same, you're dying. It's no bueno.
They look a little different. They're a lot skinnier. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, but
There's no crops anywhere.
There was little Hector, who couldn't even reach the snout of a horse when I left. Yet now he tends the stables. Little kids run about, whose faces I've never seen before in my life. Almost like I haven't been here in a long time.
Like in 6 fucking years. You guys been fucking? What the shit?
Yeah, let's say, y'all reproduce? What the fuck? There was so much to do, I couldn't decide. We could either find Mother, or ask around and find the new leader of Mean.
Well, when I go home, I gotta go to my mom first, so.
Faux show.
It's your choice.
Oh, I'm with you. Go to Mom's, man.
Hello, Mother. I guided the refugees to the center of the village. Expectedly, all eyes from the village turned towards us. Gaze upon me, people! Ha! I put on a calm face and announced,
My people, it's me, Gaius.
At first, I was afraid they wouldn't remember me. Then, all the villagers smiled and made their way towards me.
Hey, did you hear it's Gaius? No shit. Gaius?
Oh shit, no way.
He owes me $20. Fuck him.
Fuck that guy.
There were it's written in here. There were a lot of,
You've grown tall, and who's all these fucking people with you? Man, they got some big noses.
I felt overwhelmed with happiness.
Where's my mother?
I said, raising my voice a little louder than the crowds. They pointed me to the familiar house, and I went in. I went to my fucking house and shit.
So, oh yeah, that one? Yeah, I forgot. Yeah. The one I should know.
Oh yeah, that one? That's my house. It's been a while. My mother was the only one in the village who hadn't changed a bit. She made it seem like I was just gone for a couple of days. The inside of the house looked the same, too. Sigh.
You didn't spice it up at all, Mom? God damn.
Gaius, you've certainly grown taller.
My mother said.
And look how handsome you are. All the girls in the village will be fine for you, love.
Oh, shit.
I smiled.
Put Mom down.
Mom, chill out. Not in front of my friends. God. I smiled. It was great to be home. Then I left my serious face go back.
Mother, we need you in the village. Please come.
I said. No one's throwing me a parade. What the fuck, Mom?
I said specifically
6 years to the day. Fuck! She knew the importance of the matter through my voice and went out of our house in a heartbeat with me, trailing behind.
She's like, oh, yeah, I fucking forgot, my bad.
Fuck. Let's get some answers.
All right, the matter at hand. The village center is now crowded. Everyone was talking so loud, I had a hard time trying to hear my thoughts. My mother and I went towards the very center of the crowd. I was going to use my own voice to stop the madness when a more smoother voice pierced through the noise. I was surprised to see that it was my mother. I mean, of course it was her voice that attracted my father to her a long time ago, but I hadn't fully realized what power her voice really had. Now it's everybody fucking move! It was like,
Everybody quiet down.
I don't know why I made her British.
Everybody quiet down.
she shouted, and there was silence afterwards. Of course. She's the queen of mean.
She's mean as fuck,
Okay.
bro.
Now I understand how much power she holds over her people. I made the introductions with Persix and my villagers, and finally I said, I need some answers, and I need them now.
Where's my parade? I need some answers, too.
Persix answered,
Perhaps we could exchange some information. For some shekels, maybe.
I nodded and agreed.
I will let you start, then, ask away.
Persix finished. Okay, in captions it says, I recommend asking and reading all the questions because they are crucial to understand the story. Our options are, who and what attacked our village?
I didn't even say our village was attacked.
Yeah, that's threw me off too. Okay, the next one, how did you escape the giant?
Oh, Persix village.
Oh, okay. The damn Cyclops.
Oh, that's a thing in like Judaism, like the Cyclops. It's a mythical creature for them somewhat. I don't know the full story. I just watch Jewish people on TV.
He invented the dreidel, I get it. Okay. How do you get to your village and kill the beast? And
I'm done asking fucking questions. Came here to chew ass and kick bubble gum, and I'm all ass gum. Fucking had a stroke trying to say that.
It sounded like Chuck Norris that had a stroke. What the fuck?
Who or what attacked your village? Boop. Persik paused for a moment, as if recalling a very horrible tragedy. Then he said,
It was a peaceful morning. Everyone was in town celebrating Scion's 100th anniversary as being a great village. Nobody was working. It was the Sabbath, of course. As you know, Scion is a farming village, much like yours. Well, maybe we're a little bit better than you, sir. He continued, gesturing towards the place. So, we didn't have a real army. This made sense because in my town, I was the only one who can be called a warrior, and only I received the title because I was a demigod.
No one else is allowed.
God damn it, dude. I am just slapping my balls. Let's go.
Everybody see this?
Everyone, look at me.
Then, a giant who called himself Typhon. It's an alright name. It could have been better. The destroyers of gods came and sent my whole village scampering. And we're not big scamperers. Have you seen us? I get winded going up the stairs. He said, We didn't have any strength to even attempt an attack. Persik's eyes changed and looked at me. I've answered your question. Now will you answer mine? He said, and I nodded. Who the fuck are you? You walk around all pompous like you're a demigod, like you're the son of fucking Zeus or something. Oh, okay. Boy.
Funny story.
I'm ad-libbing the fuck of this story. I'm sorry to the author.
No, for sure. It's awesome.
It dawned on me that I haven't even officially introduced myself to him.
My name is Gaius, and this is my mother, Alelia. Aaliyah?
Aaliyah, she died. R.I.P. Aaliyah.
Is it Aaliyah? Alia? Is it Alia?
It's an alien. Aaliyah.
Aaliyah? Don't make me do that.
I don't know. A-E-L-I-A. Aaliyah. Just say it like that.
Okay. My name is Gaius, and this is my mother, Aaliyah.
I said, pointing a finger at my mother.
I am the only warrior.
This is my house.
I'm the only warrior that birthed from mean, and I was trained by the famous Chiron, trainer of heroes.
Don't know. Memories of years of training came rushing back as I say my mentor's name. Chiron, the Shogun of Harlem.
Shogun! I was just on my way back. Oh, I can't go gangster. I was just on my way back home when you guys found me.
I finished. Now, I need to ask another question. Which one do you want?
Oh, I guess, yeah, giant. We'll go giant.
How did you escape the giant?
You said the giant attacked your village and destroyed your homes? I said, how did you escape?
Well, that's not easy.
It actually is.
Well, that's an easy one. My people are very tricky. I mean, we get out of situations really well.
Persix smiled.
That bastard told us to leave and send back to him heroes so he can have his meals. But he didn't steal our money, so we was fine.
We're like, we'll let it pass.
Yeah, it's all right. Forgive and forget.
There's no way I'm
slowly shifting to a New York accent for some reason.
I think that character shifted at least 3 times.
There's no way I'm sending any of my peoples back there to get killed by a typhon. I mean, we've had enough troubles. I mean, you've seen our history, right?
He finished. A recurring thought was bouncing up and down inside my head. Then Persix's... that's a terrible name to have.
Persisix?
Yeah, Persisix. Then Persisix's smile vanished and asked,
Persisix, 6 small children were going to St. Ives. So,
You said you were back in the woods, that your father, he was Zeus, maybe? Is that true?
You are right. I am the sky god's son and the most powerful of them all.
I swear, like, we just have a hard-on anytime we get to talk about ourselves in this fucking story.
I said proudly and surely. He granted me an enormous amount of power as an investment so that I will kill his enemies for him. I continue with a sly half smile showing on my face.
It's called a shit-eating grin.
And I already introduced you to my mother, I said. She's the leader of this village and will be glad to help you settle into your temporary place.
Do you know who my mom is?
My mother looked at me and nodded.
This is Sparta!
No, wrong one. Sorry.
She gave the thumbs up.
Ask another question. Now we're going to go, how to get to your village and kill El Bisto.
Zed Bisto.
The idea finally made its way to my mouth.
How do you get to Sion from here?
I asked.
I promised myself never to send a hero to my village for revenge,
Persix answered.
and I chose to stand for it.
I said,
By sending me, it won't be for revenge. Typhon announced himself the destroyer of the gods. This makes him my father's enemy, and therefore it's my life's mission to kill him.
oh shit, it's a turf war, baby. What's up, what's up? This is the reason for my life. The opportunity to become immortal and live forever in the tongues of men.
Oh.
Wait a minute. Get my gaze and tongues out of your mouth. I'm not gonna let this pass.
Very well. You proved yourself strong during the attack.
Persix said, defeated.
But know this. Hero Typhoon is stronger than 100 giant bandits combined.
Oh, shit.
That's a lot.
How many silverback gorillas is that?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Have you seen the size of my dick that I swing around this village, baby? He told me that I would need to venture north, past a series of hills, through the forest with tall trees, and Sion should be right there.
To grandmother's house we go.
If you hit the railroad tracks, you've gone too far. You need to go back and make a left. Then he asked where his people can rest for the time being.
Thank you for your trust. I won't let you down.
I reassured him.
As for the housing problem, you can discuss that with my mother.
Oh, yeah, that's what you wanted.
Yeah, just
Fucking deal.
send everything to her.
All right, I'm done asking questions.
Start of a new journey.
That's pretty dope. Really, really swinging my Zeus dick around a lot. It's so unnecessary.
I feel like the Watchman being, what's his name? Manhattan.
Yeah, you just like swinging that big penis around.
Just the whole fucking movie. It's like, dude, you can materialize anything in the world. You can't materialize a pair of fucking pants. Like, come on,
Imagine
bro.
if he was just like randomly fucked with people and like made his dick like huge. And the next time you see him, he's got like a micro penis, and they're like, you're just staring at it. He's like, what are you looking at? You're like, nothing.
And thus ends today's journey. Tune in next time. Goodbye.